The storm breaks over the savanna in a roar of wind and fire-colored clouds, and beneath it, a lone figure moves, an Australopithecus, gaunt from hunger eyes, fixed on a herd of antelope sprinting into the distance. His hands clutch a sharpened stone, but his pace falters. His breath burns. He is one against many. In this world, there is no circle of bodies to surround prey, no shared cries to drive the herd into chaos. Here, each creature hunts alone. The first strike is clumsy. The antelope's hooves thunder past him, and the dust of failure coats his tongue. The sky darkens as night begins to creep, and he wanders, searching for scraps left behind by larger predators. At the edge of the river, he crouches to drink the water trembling with ripples, not his own. A crocodile erupts, jaws wide, and only his desperate leap into the reeds saves him skin torn by its teeth. He drags himself onto mud, shivering the night already alive with the growls of hyenas. In a world without cooperation, solitude is both prison and curse. The next dawn reveals others of his kind, scattered across the grasslands like broken fragments of a tribe. Each keeps distance, eyes darting with suspicion, hands clinging to stones not as tools of unity, but as weapons against one another. One female digs for roots with trembling fingers, while another lingers nearby, waiting for her to leave before seizing the leftovers. No fire is shared, no wounds are tended, and in the silence between them echoes the fragility of survival. A storm of locusts descends, stripping leaves, gnawing at the scant reserves of food. And each Australopithecus flees in a different direction. Hunger deepens into weakness, weakness into recklessness. At midday, the sun burns mercilessly, and one ventures too close to the carcass of a fallen buffalo. Vultures scatter as he approaches, but from the shadows emerge lions, their amber eyes locking onto him. His screams split the air, but no others come. No stones hurled, no branches swung in his defense. He flees, tripping his stone, tumbling useless into the dust, and the lions give chase. By sheer luck, the wind shifts, carrying his scent away, and they return to the kill. He survives, but survival is hollow when fear gnaws louder than hunger. The rhythm of the savanna is merciless, and danger gathers again as thunderclouds mass over the horizon. Lightning lashes a lone tree, igniting fire, and the band of scattered Australopithecus stand apart, staring at the blaze. None dares to approach, for the spark of cooperation never took root in them. Each one imagines the warmth, the cooked flesh the safety fire could bring if guarded together, but none will risk sharing. The flames burn bright, then wither to smoke, and with it vanishes the first chance at mastery over the world. In this world without cooperation, every victory is fleeting, every loss eternal, and every figure moves alone beneath the vast sky, prey to beasts, storms, and their own isolation. The rains fall heavy, drumming the savanna into a sheet of mud and shadow. The Australopithecus scatter beneath cliffs and thorn trees, each clutching themselves for warmth, each eyeing the others not as kin, but as rivals. A young male ribs visible beneath his fur drags a half-gnawed bone into the shelter of a hollow tree. He scrapes at the marrow with a jagged stone, savoring the oily taste. Another approaches teeth bared in silent demand, but instead of sharing the bone, is raised as a club. They collide, snarling, tumbling into the muck, their cries attracting the attention of circling hyenas. The scavengers close in teeth, flashing in the dim light, and the two combatants are forced apart, each retreating into the darkness, with nothing gained but fresh wounds. In the distance, thunder rolls across the plain, and with it, the deep tremor of elephant herds migrating toward water. Dust rises, trees splinter, and the scattered Australopithecus scramble to climb rocks or cling to branches as giants trample past. One female, clutching a bundle of figs, slips from her perch, the fruit spilling into the flood of hooves. She cries out, but no hands reach to pull her up. She scrapes her way to safety, her food gone, her body bruised. Hunger deepens. At dawn, the survivors crawl from their refuges, drawn by the scent of rot. A dead hippo lies by the river, its belly split, vultures shrieking as they feast. Alone, each Australopithecus darts in for a scrap of flesh, but every approach is cut short by snapping jaws of crocodiles drawn to the carcass. One male makes a desperate lunge, tearing free a strip of meat, only to be seized by the leg. He thrashes claws at the mud, but no one rushes to drive the predator away. The others watch frozen, then scatter, leaving his screams to be swallowed by water and silence. By midday, the sun is high and merciless. The land smells of dust and blood. A lone Australopithecus staggers his belly, empty, his throat dry. He spies berries glistening in the shade of acacias and rushes forward only to find another already there. They lock eyes, each unwilling to back down. Stones are raised, threats hissed through clenched teeth, and in their standoff neither notices the shadow slipping closer, a leopard muscles rippling, eyes fixed. It pounces, scattering them both. One escapes up a tree, the other stumbles bleeding. No aid comes, no distraction offered, and the leopard feasts beneath the branches while the survivor clings above, trembling with terror. Night falls once more. The stars blaze cold and indifferent, and in the flicker of fireflies the Australopithecus curl alone, gnawing what scraps they've hoarded. The air is filled not with shared warmth or laughter, but with the heavy silence of beings bound only by suspicion. This is survival without trust existence, without unity, where every act of hunger feeds not just the body, but the endless cycle of isolation. The dry season tightens its grip, and the savanna becomes a furnace of dust and thirst. Streams shrink to stagnant pools where crocodiles lurk beneath the slime, waiting for the desperate. One by one, Australopithecus approach each at a different hour, each glancing into the shadows but never signaling to the others. A young female scoops water with cupped hands of leaves trembling, but as she drinks, a baboon troop descends, driving her away. She flees, clutching nothing, her cries unanswered. Further along the plain, the scattered band senses something more terrible than thirst. The air quivers with the roars of lions, the king of hunters moving with merciless precision. Alone, each Australopithecus is easy prey, and they know it. A lone male forages among fallen logs, unaware of the predator stalking behind him. The grass shudders, the roar splits the silence, and he runs. But there is no circle of stones, no wall of bodies to defend him. His dash is frantic, weaving through thorn scrub, until he hurls himself into a shallow cave. The lion prowls outside, growling, and for hours he cowers in the shadows. The beast leaves, but the truth is carved into his mind alone. He will always be hunted. Days bleed together, the horizon offering no mercy. Storms rip across the grasslands, tearing branches, flooding low ground. Lightning strikes, setting brush alight, and for a fleeting moment, the Australopithecus stand around the blaze, eyes wide at its power. Sparks leap, warmth touches their faces, and something ancient stirs inside them, the knowledge that here together they could conquer fear. But suspicion curdles the moment. Each thinks the others will steal fire for themselves. None steps forward. The flames burn to embers, vanish into smoke, and the chance is lost. The climax comes in a final act of desperation. A carcass of zebra lies in the open plain, half-eaten, ringed with jackals. One by one, the Australopithecus emerge from the tall grass eyes fixed on the meat. For a heartbeat, they stand within reach of unity, outnumbering the scavengers, their stones heavy, their sticks sharp. But instead of combining their strength, they lunge at one another. Screams echo, fists and rocks clash, and in the chaos, the jackals scatter, leaving nothing but dust. Exhausted, bleeding, the Australopithecus retreat in different directions, clutching nothing but their hunger. By nightfall, silence covers the savanna, broken only by the growls of predators feeding elsewhere. The stars glimmer, eternal witnesses to a question unanswered. What if cooperation had never bloomed? In this world, survival remains fragile. Victories vanish with the wind, and the spark of fire of Tribe of Future never ignites. Humanity, instead of rising to shape the earth, remains a shadow among beasts, forever alone.